Hello guys, welcome to a new video. In this video I will share with you the 5 rarest trophies on each Tomb Raider game that has trophies. Most people voted for this option and I'm glad because it was the one that made more sense to me, but I wanted your opinion and now let's start. Tomb Raider Legend is probably the easiest and the most fun of all Tomb Raider games with trophies, so it has higher percentages when compared to the other games of the franchise. Basically, all the trophies are related to time trials, and I guess most players aren't big fans of speedruns, just like me. I like to have my time to enjoy the gameplay. So 4 trophies are directly related to the time trials. My conclusion is that after the 4th level, people get tired of time trials and only do the last one because it's just the boss battle. The level that people do the least is Kazakhstan, something like that, and it is probably because it's the longest and harder to repeat. The rarest trophy is the one we get all the outfits, and to get all the outfits we need to do, you know the answer. Yes, time trials. And also some golden artifacts that also give you outfits are quite hard to find. So, can you guess the top 5 trophies of Tomb Raider Anniversary? Well, they are all about time trials. So the mystery here is which areas are the hardest to do on time trial. Unlike Tomb Raider Legend, here you don't get a trophy for doing a level on time trial, but by doing all the levels of one area, like a trophy for doing all time trials of Peru, then another for Egypt, and so on. So you need to do all the levels. It's a bit harder to get each one. And 5th, we have the Peru levels that I think are one of the easiest. They are also not very long. In 4th, it's the Croft Manor, and the fact that it's almost impossible to die here makes it easier. But what makes it complicated is that you need to know the order of the things you need to do to progress and to not waste time. So yeah, that's the challenge. In 3rd, we have the Lost Island area. All the jumping and enemies that split fireballs makes it a bit more complicated. The 2nd level is a nightmare thanks to this area. I really hate this level. The Grease is in 2nd place. I think the 1st level is especially hard with all the jumping, traps, and knowing also the right order to reach the levers and the elemental rooms. And that leaves us with the Egyptian levels. This didn't surprise me. Egypt has the level that I hate the most in the game. The 2nd one, I just don't find it fun, and the traps here are especially annoying for me. These levels are a bit complicated, but the fact that all of them are long doesn't help either. To be honest, I really only liked the last level. I don't like the other two. And I guess I'm not the only one. We have the dedicated relic collector, where we need to collect half of the relics. We have the Master Swan Diver, in which we need to perform the swan dive in 3 different locations. First in the room where is the Kraken, then in Amanda's boat, and finally in the beginning of Thailand. Doing swan dives is pretty easy, and the fact that they are in locations in the beginning of the game makes it even easier. But this is a very specific trophy and it doesn't come natural, and a lot of people will not care about it. In third place, we just have the trophy where you need to pass the game on the hardest difficulty. Since the game has just a few enemies and no boss fights, this isn't also hard to do either. So I didn't talk much about the trophy in fourth place because it was related to the next two, where we need to collect all the 6 relics and all 179 treasures. Like I'm always saying, this isn't a hard trophy to get, but the number of treasures is ridiculous and it turns out to be more like a chore than a challenge. And this is probably the reason for these being the rarest trophies. The 5 rarest trophies of this game were multiplayer trophies. Yeah, this game had an unsuccessful multiplayer mode, very similar to Uncharted, and it was bad, but it wasn't horrible, and I still had some fun playing it. So I decided to not consider the multiplayer trophies and just the ones related to the main game or story. In fifth, we have the trophy where we need to complete all the challenge, and without a guide this may be hard to find since they don't appear on the map, so it is understandable that it is one of the rarest trophies. The challenges are very basic, like lighting statues, burning things, destroying things, stuff like that. These next trophies are also very basic. I guess people just don't bother since they are trophies that don't come natural to most gamers. In fourth, we have one that we need to pull 5 enemies of edges, which is kind of pointless to do in my opinion because most of the times they don't die. It kind of depends on the place where you use that. But I'm not a big fan of that skill, and I guess there's also a lot of people that don't use it. Then we have another one that we have to shoot 10 enemies of zip lines. I was a bit surprised because I think these would be a bit more common. At least me, I would always try to shoot them on the lines because it was easier to kill them. You only need to shoot one time. Then we have incapacitate 25 enemies with dodge counter. This one I'm also very surprised that people don't get it because it's something that I do feel it comes natural, you know, when you try to avoid attacks it will appear that button, or maybe people don't have the right timing. I don't know. I don't think it's hard to do this, and it's very useful in the game, so I was expecting to see more people getting this trophy, but I guess not. The first place was a surprise, so it's the one that we need to get all the conversations with the endurance crew. And basically in certain situations you can interact with the characters to have a conversation. It is easy to do but also easy to miss. It can also be one of those trophies that are more like a chore, but in a way I still thought it was fun to discover all the conversations, you know, makes the world a little bit more richer. So 4 of the rarest trophies are related to score attack, that is basically the same as a time trial, just a different name. So this is no surprise, and in 4th place it's a trophy where you need to pass 5 different levels without taking damage. This may seem hard, but it is possible to only play the challenge tombs that don't have any enemies, so this trophy ends up being kinda pointless. You know, not very fair. I'm sorry that I went so fast through Rise, but basically the trophies are not very interesting, the ones about the score attack. You have one that you need to complete every score attack with a gold score. It wasn't fun, I can say that. Then you have another one where we need to complete all with a bronze. Then one that it just 10 levels in gold, so basically to have the other one we need to do this one also. They are related. And then we have one with just a gold. Yeah, basically I don't get it, these trophies, but yeah, they are not very interesting. In fifth place we have the trophy that we need to complete the game 100%. To do this, we need to collect all 378 collectibles, all side missions, crypts, challenges, and challenge tombs. These type of trophies are just for people with patience, so there's a lot of people that have no patience for this. Basically, for this trophy, you just need to use the skill named the Heart of the Jaguar that allows you to take more damage. While this skill is on, we need to take down 10 enemies with stealth attacks. This is a simple trophy and I really don't understand why it is one of the rarest in the game. Then we have one that we need to perform 3 headshots in 3 seconds with the pistol. So for this one you just need to find a good place to do it and have a great aim, but it's understandable why it's also here in this top 5. Deadly Obsession was a tough one, so it doesn't surprise me to be in first place. You have no hints, the enemies are stronger and smarter, there isn't auto healing, and the worst for me was really the fact that there weren't any checkpoints. And if you die, you start from the campfire and now you need resources to create one. This was a pain, especially in those climbing moments that for some reason Lara decided to jump to the wrong side. So yeah, I was really pissed at those moments, and this is basically something that happens quite a few times on Crystal Dynamics games. It's like, I want Lara to jump to one direction and she jumps to the wrong one. My conclusion is that I think Tomb Raider Anniversary and Shadow of the Tomb Raider were the hardest to get the platinum because of Tomb Raider Anniversary time trials and the Shadow of the Tomb Raider Deadly Obsession mode. These two things were the things that made those games harder to get all the trophies. And in Tomb Raider 2013, I thought it wasn't hard to play, but the multiplayer can be a problem and some people don't like it. It was easy for me because I used to play Uncharted multiplayer. Tomb Raider Underworld is probably the most boring one to get all the trophies. I really did felt like it was a chore. I don't know, I didn't have fun doing that. In the end, the easiest are Tomb Raider Legend and Rise of the Tomb Raider, but of course I think Tomb Raider Legend is easier than Rise of the Tomb Raider. So what do you think of these trophies? Did you got all the platinums? Say it in the comments. Like always, don't forget to leave a like to help the video reach more people and subscribe if you're new. Until next time, bye bye!